narcissist is always going to punish you when the discard phase is already happening. And what I mean by that is that they triangulate at this stage a lot. And they're going to bring up people that you know or that you probably don't know and bring them in that triangulation and make you jealous, or try to make you jealous. And that's because it's like it's letting you know that, hey, I can have this if you don't give me this. And so you have to fight harder. And so they do that because they want to make it seem like they're worth more than they actually are. Okay? So that's triangulation. Also, they attack your weaknesses. So if you were vulnerable at one point and you brought up like things in the relationship that bothered you, they're going to emphasize on that. Because if it hurt you, well, they're going to emphasize on hurting you more because of that. Let's say that, there was things like, okay, I want to move in together. Let's make it official. Let's do that. And the next thing you know, they're like, no, you know what? I'm going to get an apartment on my own for now. And I'm going to do this on my own for now. And so they emphasize on that. And let's say that there's things like, okay, you're going out more. Like, that's bothering me. And you weren't telling me. And the next thing you know, they're like, well, because you want to know, yes, I'm going out more and I'm going to go out with my girlfriends, to the club or to, do this and that. And there's going to be guys there and blah, blah, blah. And so, yes, you get the picture. They emphasize on your weaknesses at this point. Also, they do the discard phase and they punish you because they're shameful people. They have a fear of rejection because you're already catching on. You already know that they're flawed. And remember, they have no introspect. They cannot think within. They cannot self-reflect, anything of that nature. And so what they're going to do when they feel like they're neglected emotionally, or you're catching on to the games, they start moving away a lot faster. So they have to move on. That's why they always have people lined up, like I always said, because it's like, okay, I know deep down that I'm flawed, and because of their shamefulness and their fear of rejection and abandonment because of their childhood, this is why they always have to move on quick. And, as a victim, you're always going to be stuck ruminating. You're always going to be stuck, in cognitive dissonance because you would think that this person has the actual capacity to feel what you feel. But no, they don't. They're very shameful people. They fear abandonment and rejection. And so they have to move on to not feel those emotions, to not feel that. Because remember, narcissism, like I've always said, is a defense mechanism. And so they have to move on. And they have to leave you feeling like you were the one that was the problem, that you caused all the hurt in the relationship because it justifies their grandiosity. Remember, they feel entitled because they hurt so much, they feel like they should get a piece of something because they hurt so much. But that's not fair for you because they were taking pieces of you to fill themselves. And so, yes, the narcissist is never going to be happy after they discard you because they're just repeating the same thing over and over, the same feelings, the same cycles, the same manipulative tactics to the next person, the new supply. And that's going to be transferred over to the new supply. And so the new supply is going to feel the wrath of the narcissist at the end of the relationship. The discard phase is always going to get there. There is no leeway. With the narcissist, they do the same thing over and over. Idealization, and then next thing you know, you're being devalued, and then next thing you know, you're being discarded. And then they just move on repeating the same cycles. Because why? Because they're going to remain miserable because they cannot self-reflect. They hide from their own feelings. They don't have the same feelings like a normal, healthy individual does. They lost that at an early age. Okay? You cannot reverse that pathology, you know? And so they're going to repeat the same cycles. They have a personality disorder. And so that's never going to change. Okay? So, yes, they're always going to discard. And there's nothing you could do about it, only from learning from it. You know? That's the only difference that you have, is learning from it. The narcissist repeats it. Okay? They don't learn from anything, they just repeat cycles.